The rain was coming down in sheets as I stared out the window of my small Chicago apartment. I'm Emery, 44, and until recently I thought I had it all. A decent job as a software developer, a comfortable life, and a wife, Serafina, who I adored. We'd been married for 15 years, a milestone I'd always looked forward to celebrating. But now the thought of it just made my stomach churn. It started subtly a few months ago. Serafina, who worked as a marketing manager for a large corporation downtown, started staying late at the office more often. Big project, she'd say with a tired smile. Gotta impress the boss. I never doubted her. Serafina had always been ambitious, driven. I admired that about her. I'd have dinner waiting, a glass of wine poured, ready to listen to her vent about office politics. She was my rock, my confidant, or so I thought. The first red flag was the phone. Serafina had always been fairly open with her devices. We knew each other's passwords, sometimes used each other's phones without a second thought. But suddenly her phone became a fortress. Always face down, always locked, always with her. If I walked into the room, she'd quickly minimize whatever was on the screen, a nervous flutter in her eyes. I tried to brush it off. Maybe she was planning a surprise party, I reasoned. Maybe she was just being more mindful of her privacy. But the unease lingered. Then came the weekends away. A marketing conference in Milwaukee, she announced one Friday evening. I have to go, it's mandatory. I offered to drive her, but she insisted on taking the train. Easier, she said, avoiding eye contact. Less stressful. I kissed her goodbye at the door, a hollow feeling in my chest. That weekend was hell. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. I tried calling her a few times, but she didn't answer. Meetings, she texted back. We'll call later. She never did. The final straw was the email. One Tuesday, I was working from home when our internet went down. Serafina was out, so I did what any reasonable person would do. I checked the router. It was fine. Then I remembered that Serafina had her work email logged in on my laptop. Just for emergencies, she'd said. Desperate for a connection, I opened it up. And there it was, a string of emails back and forth between Serafina and someone named Silas. The subject line was innocuous project update, but the content was anything but. Last night was amazing, one email read. I can't stop thinking about you. Another, I can't wait to see you in Milwaukee. Let's ditch the conference and spend the day in bed. My blood ran cold. Silas, the name echoed in my head. Who the hell was Silas? I scrolled through the emails, each one a fresh stab to the heart. They talked about their secret rendezvous, their stolen moments, their burning desire. It was sickening. I felt like I was going to throw up. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely hold the laptop. I needed to know more. I searched Silas' name on the company directory. Silas Vance, Senior Vice President of Marketing, Serafina's boss. It all clicked into place. The late nights, the weekends away, the secretive phone calls. It was all a lie. Our entire marriage had been a lie. When Serafina came home that evening, I was waiting for her. I tried to remain calm, but my voice trembled as I confronted her. Who is Silas? I asked, my eyes burning into hers. She froze, her face paled. I don't know what you're talking about, she stammered. I held up the laptop, the email displayed on the screen. Don't lie to me, Serafina, I know everything. She burst into tears. It just happened, she sobbed. It was a mistake. I didn't mean for it to go this far. A mistake, I repeated, my voice rising. 15 years, Serafina. 15 years of marriage. How could you do this to me? She begged for forgiveness, promising it would never happen again. She said she loved me, that Silas meant nothing to her, but the words were hollow, meaningless. The trust was broken, shattered beyond repair. I couldn't look at her without feeling a wave of disgust. I told her to leave. I couldn't stand to be in the same room with her. She packed a bag and walked out the door, leaving me alone with the wreckage of our life. The next few weeks were a blur of anger, sadness, and disbelief. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. I replayed every moment of our marriage in my head, searching for clues I had missed, signs I had ignored. I talked to my friend Tobias a lot. He was supportive, offering a shoulder to cry on and a sympathetic ear. He urged me to get a lawyer to protect myself. I knew he was right, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. It felt too final, too real. One evening, Tobias suggested we go out for a drink. Get your mind off things, he said. You can't just sit around and mope. I reluctantly agreed. We went to a small bar in Wicker Park, a place I'd never been before. The music was loud, the atmosphere lively. It was a welcome distraction. As we sat at the bar, I noticed a woman sitting alone at a table nearby. She had long, dark hair and a sad, weary expression on her face. I couldn't help but feel drawn to her. There was something familiar about her. After a few drinks, I worked up the courage to approach her. "Excuse me," I said. "I couldn't help but notice you sitting alone. Are you all right?" She looked up, startled. "Oh, yeah, I am fine," she said, her voice barely a whisper. Emery," I said, extending my hand. "Gwyneth," she replied, shaking my hand gently. "Nice to meet you." We started talking, and I quickly learned that Gwyneth was going through a similar situation to mine. Her husband, Silas, had been having an affair with a woman from his office. My heart skipped a beat. Silas? Could it be the same Silas? I asked her a few questions, probing for details. It didn't take long to confirm my suspicions. Gwyneth's husband was the same Silas who had been sleeping with my wife. We spent the rest of the evening talking, sharing our stories, our pain, our anger. It was strangely comforting to be with someone who understood exactly what I was going through. We were both victims of the same betrayal, bound together by a shared experience of heartbreak. As the weeks passed, Gwyneth and I grew closer. We talked on the phone every day, sharing our thoughts and feelings. We met for coffee, for lunch, for dinner. We found solace in each other's company. We laughed, we cried, we supported each other through the darkest moments. One day, Gwyneth suggested we do something about Silas. "He can't just get away with this," she said. "He's destroyed our lives. He needs to face the consequences." I agreed. I had been feeling increasingly angry and resentful towards Silas. He had not only betrayed me and Serafina, but he had also betrayed Gwyneth. He was a serial cheater, a manipulator, a liar. He deserved to be punished. We started digging into Silas' background, searching for anything we could use against him. We discovered that he had been involved in some shady business dealings, skimming money from the company, using his position for personal gain. It was exactly what we needed. Gwyneth, being a paralegal, knew exactly how to gather the evidence and present it to the authorities. She worked tirelessly, poring over documents, tracking down witnesses, building a case against Silas. I helped her in any way I could, providing moral support and offering my technical expertise. Finally, after months of investigation, we were ready. Gwyneth contacted the authorities and presented them with the evidence we had gathered. They launched an investigation, and it didn't take long for them to confirm our findings. Silas was arrested and charged with multiple counts of fraud and embezzlement. The news of Silas' arrest spread like wildfire. Serafina was devastated. She called me, begging me to help her. She said she was sorry for everything she had done, that she realized she had made a terrible mistake. She claimed that Silas had manipulated her, that she wasn't thinking straight. I didn't believe her. I had lost all trust in her. I told her that I couldn't help her, that she had to face the consequences of her actions. I hung up the phone, feeling a sense of cold satisfaction. Silas, meanwhile, was facing a long prison sentence. His career was ruined, his reputation destroyed. He had lost everything. He had paid the price for his betrayal. Gwyneth and I continued to support each other through the aftermath of the scandal. We had become more than just friends. We had become partners, united by a shared experience of pain and a shared desire for justice. One evening, as we were sitting on my couch watching a movie, Gwyneth turned to me and said, "Emery, I think I'm falling in love with you." I smiled. "I think I'm falling in love with you too, Gwyneth." We kissed, a long, tender kiss that sealed our bond. We had both been through hell, but we had emerged stronger, wiser, and more resilient. We had found love in the midst of betrayal, hope in the midst of despair. Serafina eventually moved to another state, trying to escape the shame and embarrassment of her actions. I heard through mutual friends that she was struggling, alone and unhappy. I felt a pang of sympathy for her, but I didn't regret my decision. She had made her choice, and she had to live with the consequences. Gwyneth and I built a new life together, a life filled with love, trust, and honesty. We never forgot the pain we had endured, but we didn't let it define us. We learned from our mistakes and we moved forward together. Looking back, I realized that Serafina's betrayal was the best thing that ever happened to me. It forced me to confront my own vulnerabilities, to reevaluate my priorities, and to open my heart to new possibilities. It led me to Gwyneth, the woman who truly loved and understood me. It taught me that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope for a better future. And for that, I am grateful. Life throws curveballs. Sometimes those curveballs are devastating betrayals that shatter everything you thought you knew. But even in the wreckage, there's a chance to find something beautiful, something real. It might not be the life you imagine, but it could be even better. Thanks for listening to my story. I hope it helps you find your own path to healing and happiness.